So in this video we're going to talk about fractions to decimals to percents. So if we start out something pretty simple here, we're going to work with, let's say, 1/4, okay? And I showed you in the other video that this is the numerator, here's the denominator, and we set it up as the, think alphabetical, denominator is going to divide into the numerator. Okay, so we're going to take 4 is going to divide into 1. Go through a series of questions. 4 does not go into 1, so that's 0. We have a decimal place here, and we can add a 0. 4 goes into 10 how many times, and that's 2. Can't exceed, okay, so that's 8. Our math facts, 4 times 2 is 8. We're left with 2. I can add another 0. I still don't change that original number. I bring that down. 4 can go into 20 5 times. Again, from our math facts, 4 times 5 is 20. And I'm left with 0, so that's a terminating decimal. So 1/4 is equivalent to 0.25. So we've gone ahead and we have created from fraction to decimal. The next step, though, is that we need to take the decimal to percent. How do we go to percent? Well, we just simply take the 0.25 and we multiply by 100, because 100 is our percent. And when we do the math on that, and we can go, we can do 100 times the 0.25. So 5 times 0 is 0, 5 times 0 is 0, 5 times 1 is 5, 2 times 0 is 0. Notice I start here in my tenths position. You can add a 0 in the ones if you want. 2 times 0, and then 2 times 1 is 2. Now I'm going to add those. 0, 0, 5 and 0 is 5, 2 all by itself. Now I count up how many decimals I have. Well, in this case, I only have 2. And I'm talking about, here's a decimal, how many numbers do I have? If I had, like, say, 1 up here, that would be 3, okay? But I only have 2, so I count over 2, 1, 2. So this becomes 25%. So we have 1/4. 1/4 is equal to 0.25 in decimal and is equal to 25%. Now there is a little trick that we can use with our decimals. The mathematical concept way is to always multiply by 100. Whatever your decimal is, multiply by 100 and you'll get your percent. But you can simply just move your decimal 2 places to the right. It's always 2 places and it's always to the right when you're going from decimal to percent, and you'll come up with the 25%. I had 0.08. What's my percent? Well, I move it over 1, 2, and I'm going to have 8% because that's where it's left. So we went from fraction to decimal to percent. Let's go from percent to decimal to fraction. All right, so let's take, let's say 43%. Okay. Well, when we have 43%, what we're going to do is we're going to divide this by 100%. So these terms, the percentages cancel out, and it becomes 43 divided by 100. Now you could say, well, that's fraction already. Okay. But you have to ask, will it reduce? To convert this to decimal, then we simply take the 100 and divide that into the 43. Okay, we have our decimal here. We'll put it up top. 100 does not go into 43, so that's 0. We add a 0 here. 100 goes into 430 4 times, so that's 400. I'm left with 30. I add another 0. 100 will go into 300 3 times, and I have 0 left. So my percentage equivalent is 0.43 in decimal form. So now how do I go to fraction form? Well, I take my 0.43. First step, I just create my fraction bar. I take the number of, I take the 43 and I write it up here in my numerator. I take the number that I have in my decimal to the right of the decimal. So I have 2 digits. I have a 4 and a 3. And I'm going to put that amount of zeros down. And then I'm going to put a 1 in front of it. So I'm going to come up with 43/100ths as my fraction. So that same step is what you would do for any kind of fraction. It just so happens to work out just exactly the way we did it over here. Okay. If we had a different one, say that I have 0.625. Okay. So I have that decimal. I want to get that to percent, so I multiply it by 100. Okay. So if I do it the shortcut way, move it 2 places, so 62.5%. Of course, if I do my math, 625 times 100, 0, 0, 0, another 0, 0, 0, because anything times 0 is 0. And then 1 times 5 is 5. Notice I'm in my hundredths place, or hundreds place, so I keep it there. Then 1 times 2 and 6. So I have a 0, that down, 0 plus 0 is 0. 2 zeros and a 5 is 5. A 0 and 2 is 2, and a 6. I have, this was 0.625, so 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. So 62.5%. If I want to go to fraction form, put my bar, I have 1, 2, 3. I'm going to have 3 zeros. And then I bring my 6, put my 1, 6, 2, 5. So 625 thousandths is the 0.625, because this is the tenths, hundredths position, thousandths position. Okay, so that's how you can go from percent to fraction to decimal. I hope this video helped you out in being able to do that. If you got any questions, come see me. I'll help you out. Bye.